Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Bareknuckle Uncensored. I'm Chris. This is, everybody knows this guy. This is King Dave Leduc. He is your open champion, Lethwei. Let's talk to him today. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. You?
Very good. Very good. It is Wednesday at 1 o'clock, and I think it's like 9 o'clock for you in Turkey.
Yeah, you're leaving soon on the road?
Yeah, we're going to be heading down to Fort Lauderdale, Miami, South Florida. We're going to be doing some work for Bareknuckle Fighting Championship and Feldman.
How long's the drive?
It's going to be a huge event. Let's see. I'll bring it up real quick. Let's see what we got here. It's 4 title fights. I think we talked about this before, but somebody that might have not showed the show. Here's the event we'll be covering. Bareknuckle Uncensored, MMA Uncensored will be live on site. 4 title fights. Bareknuckle Fighting Championship 18. That's this week. Yeah. We will be there. We're going to be sitting ringside, which is an amazing thing. I mean, we're going to be sitting ringside. It's amazing.
First time that we're going to be like Bareknuckle, the first event we're going to cover. Basically, you're basically having 2 hats, the MMA Uncensored and the Bareknuckle Uncensored. But pretty stoked to have our first basically event live. I'm going to be covering some or be a guest of honor in some events in Europe right now. But I'm stoked for you. How long's the drive from to the event?
It's 4 hours from Tampa to the Miami area. Check into the hotel. Friday, we'll go do the weigh-ins, some interviews. We got some bags of shirts and some goodies for the fighters. All the fighters will get an MMA Uncensored bag with at least a shirt or 2, maybe some hand wraps.
Generous.
Generous. What's that?
You're so generous.
Well, you know, some people would say, why would you give them away when you could sell them? That's what some people would say.
Sure.
But me, I'm very generous.
A big heart. What can I say?
My wife is like, really? You want to do that? I'm like, well, you know what? Why not? So we're going to give away some shirts. We're going to give away some of these. We're going to give away some of these. And we're going to be in Miami doing some work for our awesome, tremendous partners. We got a new partnership we just talked about. So some news coming. We're going to be covering
people that didn't see the live. Can you tell them what's the partnership? Because they didn't see the live.
We're going to be working for Bareknuckle Fighting Championship for many years to come. We're going to be covering their events live on site, doing interviews. We'll be able to sit ringside. We won't be able to do any videos from ringside because we need to protect the integrity of the product and pay-per-view. And but we'll be able to take some pictures, some of the fighters, exclusive.
Are you staying there a little bit to enjoy Miami afterwards? A little bit? Are you?
Yeah, we're gonna go probably a few hours on Friday, and we'll go out to dinner and have a nice dinner to celebrate. And then Saturday we'll stay out there all day, and then at 6 p.m. we'll go to the Hard Rock Casino, and that's where the event is. So
no gamble, man. I just
and then we'll have Sunday too.
Are you a gambler?
No, I don't gamble or drink anymore.
Bro, that's amazing. I don't drink, but I until yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever, I gambled. Now I promised myself it's over. I just lost 10K in fucking Cairo in Egypt. Yeah, US, man. You check my stories. I asked my followers. Okay, I always played only roulette. So I said, okay, just tell me black or red. I only play outside bet. I never played inside. I'm just simple guy. Black or red, you know. And you win, you double it. So I put 10K on one color. Just guys, tell me which color I put in. So they all said black. Then I said fuck it. I'll put red. And yeah, but then I put half of it. I put 5 instead of full 10. I put 5 on red. Lost. Then I'm like, okay, well, they said black, so let's put the other 5 on black, and I lost again. So I said, fuck this shit. I promised my wife I'm never gambling again. So
that's quite the bet, King. That's quite the bet.
Okay. Well, you go big or go home. You know, I don't like. It's like crypto. I'm heavy in crypto, and I don't want to put. I always want to. You want to make big gains, or you can lose fast, but you can also win big. You know, can lose big or win big. I don't like. I like to go fast. And talking about
fast. Look at this. Heavyweight Jon Jones.
Yeah, I just saw it. Yeah. He's looking good, man.
Looking big, dude.
Yeah, what's your impression? The fight's gonna happen?
Not until next year.
Okay.
He's gonna get his body ready. It'll be almost 2 years from the time he goes from 205 to heavyweight. He's
How
gonna
much do
have
you think he's
almost
gonna
2
be?
years off.
How much do you think he's gonna be, like, weight-wise? I didn't follow it. Do you know what's the weight you think he's gonna be?
He's 255 right now.
And how much is Ngannou?
260.
So it's pretty similar, but the other one is a bit more like natural weight.
Muscle. Jones is a much better athlete, much better ground game. Jiu-jitsu.
255 right now?
Who?
Jones is 255? Holy shit. And he was fighting at 205?
He was fighting at 205 for 10
Was he cutting a lot?
He was staying lean. He was staying around 225 or so, and then he was cutting the last 20 pounds. But yeah, just staying lean. Yeah.
Oh, that's a big gain. That's like 40 pounds or 20, 30 pounds.
Yeah. You know, we just started a partnership with Jackson Winklejohn Gym, and he's for the gym. We had a huge tour yesterday, and I think you saw that. But we should be able to get maybe Jones on the podcast.
Yeah, we followed each other for a while now, and he's always been a great supporter of Lethwei, and I support his things too, man. He made me laugh the other day because I posted a picture of the Likamun, right, the challenge gesture, and I said, "Who wants it?" And he's like, "Not me." Especially not me, especially on the feet. So obviously, coming from him is a great compliment. He has a great, great striker.
For a long time.
And it was it's funny because especially not on the feet, and obviously he's a great striker. So
real quick before we get into the bare knuckle, and then today's guest is going to be a blockbuster, guys. Real quick, I just want to announce that starting next week or the week after, we'll be streaming live on Brinks.tv. We'll have our own TV network. It's going to be MMA Uncensored TV, Bareknuckle Uncensored TV, and we'll have full production for this show. And we'll have a lot better product coming in the next 2 weeks.
So I'd
like to thank my sponsor, Kill Cliff, Brinks TV, and my partner, Dave Leduc, for making it happen. This is our 5th episode today, and we're absolutely killing it. Thank you to our fans.
Chris, you're the mastermind behind this, and I've been wanted to have a voice about gloveless fighting for a while, and you are the guy that made it happen. So for people at home, Chris said Bareknuckle Uncensored is going to be basically not a venue, but like
it's going to be its own TV show.
Yeah, part of the MMA Uncensored ecosystem, and very proud of this. Only after 5 episodes, so it's going to be pumped. You spoke about BKFC that you're going to go.
We're going to the Bareknuckle Fighting Championship.
And for people that don't know, I didn't even know until a couple of weeks ago. We have the BKFC app, and on the app, it's a nice little bridge there. There was Game Bred MMA Bareknuckle MMA Championship. So I watched it. I didn't watch it live, but I watched it yesterday, the main event, especially this one. I thought, so people that don't know, it was Felony, exactly. Bennett against Knight. Knight, people that don't know, fought Artem Lobov, that we got our first guest on the show. So he fought him twice.
2 times.
And Artem won. And I think it's one, right?
1-1.
1-1. Okay, so Knight. So he's heavily, he was in Bareknuckle Fighting Championship. So everything is together almost, So he fought Knight, and then now Knight is fighting Felony.
Yeah.
And how did the fight go? It started pretty exciting.
It started really good. Good. Here's the thing. Felony and I talked 3 days after the loss. He took it pretty hard. I was supposed to have him on the show this week. We're going to push it back a little bit for reasons up here. But let's just say he took the loss pretty hard. The first round started like this, guys. They both standing up, bare knuckle, middle of a medium-sized MMA ring, MMA cage. And Felony hit him with a counter. Knocked Jason down and stunned him real quick. This is the first 30 seconds of the fight. And then they engaged again, and then Felony hit him with another counter right on the eye, made Jason bleed. From there, King, you saw what happened.
Yeah, I didn't. I actually was like, oh shit, okay. I saw the blood, and the commentators, I think Robin Black that we had on the show as well.
Black,
was like, man, this eye is fucked up, and it was very fast.
Jab. It was a jab, right, King?
Yeah. No, I didn't. And again, you see that's what I love. It was a very short exchange, one jab or one strike, and there was blood already. You can draw blood in bare knuckle fighting very fast. People don't now. People starting to comprehend how different it is. Even with MMA glove with 4 ounce, there's a padding there. Let's not even talk about Muay Thai or other sports or kickboxing. We have big cushions here. Bare knuckle fighting, like Lethwei, bare knuckle MMA, or BKFC. This is a different game, guys. You have to adjust. You cannot go for volume because you're gonna get you're gonna fuck up your hands if you hit the skull. And sometimes it doesn't work, or if it happens to you, you have to be very efficient and blocking. So I was like, shit, I'm telling you guys, first shot, Bennett, boom, cut him up. But props tonight for recovering, keeping his composure.
Pulled guard, or tried to pull guard, right?
Yeah.
And excuse me, Felony got up, and then I think Knight got a hold of him and did a trip sweep or something, and then from there, it finished. Is it triangle or is it
no? It's a rear naked choke.
Rear naked choke, RNC. First round, RNC submission win. Jason Knight, Game Bred Fighting Championship won. And real quick now, I talked to the guys over there at First Round Management, Malky, and some of the guys. It looks like MMA Uncensored and Bareknuckle Uncensored will be affiliated with Game Bred Fighting Championship going forward, possibly covering events. The next event is supposed to be in Mexico, maybe Cancun, and MMA Uncensored will be invited to that.
Yeah, I enjoyed what we did. For those who don't know, we did a live on MMA Uncensored, and I was part of it a little bit. I was in Egypt. I was traveling, but I like the concept, Chris. If we can do this for the other shows, I'd like to get more involved, and because I don't know the entire ecosystem of Bareknuckle Fighting Championship and all the boys fighting at Game Bred. So I mean, if we can interview them, that'd be cool. And I was gonna say, so yeah, honestly, if there was no punch or no blood in that main event with Knight and Felony, I would have been disappointed to see with a submission, because again, I'm all about striking and action. So I appreciate the fight, and because it's at the end of the day, it's MMA, right? It's MMA but gloveless. So as long as
who knows what would happen if that would have stayed on the feet, right? If that was a knuckle fight, if that was a BKFC rules fight, who knows what would have happened, guys?
That's the thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I mean, you did what you had to do, because if you're getting you have blood right away like this so early in the fight, you can't just take. You had to. He said in his head, it was like, do I stay up and risk the entire fight, lose, or I win and maybe submit him? And he did. I don't blame the guy. But obviously, as a fight fan, I want to see the brawl. But I don't blame it at all. 1 second, Chris. Before we are our next guest, I want to talk about the event. So we spoke a couple of episodes ago about the Poland fight, the Poland Lethwei event that we had. It was a Grand Prix, and it was we had Kosik, a Slovak guy. Yeah, exactly. So basically, now there's another event happening, but it's in Slovakia this Saturday. Michael Kosik fought on the event in Poland, and he won by KO. Now he's 2-0. He's 2-0, undefeated in Lethwei. Strong guy. I met him when I was doing a seminar in Slovakia. I've been there a couple of times. Great people, great warriors. The guy I spar with him, tough guy. Still young, but he's 2-0. He won his last fight in Lethwei in Poland. Like I said, he was a big knee to the body. I think maybe I showed you on private, but yeah, it was a big knee to the body. So now he's 2-0, and now I don't know his opponent, but I was told by the promoter that he has big heart. So it should be a good fight. The thing I'm most excited is that it's fucking booming. Lethwei is fucking booming in Europe. A couple weeks ago, event in Poland. Now Saturday, event in Slovakia. Now they say. And that's my call out to everybody who's watching this, future fighters right now. If you fought, that's the message from them, the Slovak Lethwei Federation. If you fought Lethwei, if you fought Muay Thai, if you fought kickboxing, if you fought MMA, they don't fucking care. If you're a fighter and you wish to get on board the Lethwei train, if you wish to have the opportunity to make a difference and be like a black sheep, be different, and change the course of your career, message them, because they want, after this event Saturday, it's only one Lethwei event. It's the main event. After all the rest of the show is like kickboxing and all these, but the main event is Lethwei because it's the fucking coolest. After this show, they want to do full-on Lethwei events, only Lethwei shows. So they want to get a lot of fight. If you're based in Europe or you want to travel to Europe, message them, and
Tell
you
them
might
who to message, King. Tell them who to message.
yeah. So go to it's a Slovak Lethwei Federation. I guess we can put it in the description. Well, let's put it in the description on YouTube. The Slovak Lethwei Federation. Send them your resume. Get in contact with them, because this is your chance. I get message my team gets message all the day to every day, like, can I fight Lethwei? How do I fight Lethwei? Well, this is your chance. Myanmar is a shit show right now. It's not happening. There's no fights in Myanmar right now. It's your chance, guys. So let's tell them the good news. Who's our
I mean, this is superb news. This is a friend of yours. This is someone that you've spent a lot of time with. I believe you look up to. This is someone that I've watched when I first started renting videotapes at Blockbuster Video and watching Pancrase, Valley 2 Doe, early UFC. Yeah. This is a legend. Some people call him El Guapo.
El Guapo.
And let's just show you a little picture of this man. Look at that.
So today we have
got gloves on that picture, but not the next one we show.
Yeah.
A legend.
That's Pancrase.
That's Pancrase.
That's
Former UFC champion. David's friend.
That's in LA. Yeah, it was his gym. That was a great moment.
Here we go. Let's get him on.
Is he here with us?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bas Rutten.
Easy, guys. How are you guys doing?
Oh, how are you?
Great. Doing great.
Turn my phone off somehow. Let me turn my volume up.
What's your shirt, Bruce Lee?
We're all three in it.
Wow.
How are you, boss?
I'm doing great, brother. How you doing?
Very good, very good. I love your shirt. You got GTB.
For my birthday, actually, because this is the movie that made me wanted to be a fighter, because that was the time I was bullied with my skin disease. And when I saw this, I was 12. I realized if I would be like Bruce, I would handle my my bullies. So 2 years later, finally, my parents allowed me, and that's when it all started.
What is it? Enter the Dragon? Which one is it?
Dragon, yes.
Okay. GKD. That's the I see it now. Okay, Enter the Dragon. So 12 years old, you saw this. I didn't know that, and that's the one that, like you said, I want to fight.
You know, I had a horrible skin disease. I was the leper in school. That's what they called me. So I was bullied on a daily basis. I was very skinny because I had severe asthma attacks. Like every 6 weeks, 5 weeks, week in bed, not able to because I couldn't breathe. And needless to say, you know, if you get bullied on a daily basis, you need a way out. You try to find a way out. And that's what I was in France. We sneaked into a movie theater because I remember I was 17 years older, but my brother and I found a way to sneak in. So we first of all, didn't have to pay, but also our age was okay.
Okay.
And, Enter the Dragon. And that was it. That's literally, I came home. I started making nunchucks. I asked my parents 2 years to convince them. And then after 2 years, they finally bent. They said, okay, do it, because they got sick of me. And then I started Taekwondo, and it slowly started. I trained with the adults. I started beating the adults in 2 months. Then I heard them talking great about me. You know,
how old were you?
I got confident
16?
when I first bully out.
You were 16 years old at the time?
14.
14, and you were sparring with a grown man.
Yeah, because I was lucky because I had this beautiful neighbor girl, and she was dating the coolest guy in town. Xavier was his name. Xavier, that's how we pronounce it. He was playing Taekwondo. That was at the time, right? There was nothing else. There was kickboxing later came, but it predominantly was karate and Taekwondo. So I started with him, going with him. He took me under his wing to the adult class. That was there. But it went really fast. I picked up just really fast, and I started dropping off some of these guys like with 2 months. And then I talk about me in the dressing room, you know. And as a kid, if you only hear bad things about you, but there's certainly adults are speaking good. So I got confident. And I fight with the biggest bully in my school, and I knocked him out. It was one punch. That was it.
You fought him? Did you look for it, or it was like he came to you? I didn't know that story.
We were riding a bicycle on the street, and there's this. They come with like 6 guys. Morning. And they come driving by. Hey, leper, watch out! Your hands don't fall off, your feet don't fall off, whatever. They always shouted something like that. And this time I shouted something back. And I heard them laugh. I looked back, and sure enough, they made a U-turn. They started to chase me. So I put my bike on a stand, and I told myself, I'm not going to run anymore. I'm not going to face it now. And then they surrounded me.
Wow.
Yeah, and then Chucky was his name. He started bouncing his chest against my chest, and you want to go, man? You want to hit me? So I just hit him, and he went out. Fine. He was out, nose broke. That was the problem because then the police showed up. Of course, my mom and dad confirming that martial arts, because they always thought martial arts was violence, and they took me off right away. But now, now the bullying stopped, and now I started training myself and watching videotapes and
in secret, in training in secret, or what?
Training in secret, yeah. A buddy of mine also, he did boxing. I would sneak into his boxing classes as well, and slowly but surely we were, guys all got bullied, and we started. We had an overweight guy who started losing weight to start boxing. Actually, did really well. We had a guy with a big head, Otto, but he had a growth spurt, and he was 5. So now proportionate, his head fitted.
Otto, shout out to Otto. Yeah. And how did it work with your parents? Like, when did they let you train again, like night in secret?
Not when I left the house when I was 20.
Okay.
I immediately started doing a form of karate, but then within 6 months I wanted to compete full contact, so that was Thai boxing.
Wait, so you tell me from 14 or 15 until when did you leave the house? Well, what age did you leave the house?
21.
So for 5 years you trained in secret.
Yeah.
Wow. But you were getting fucking vicious, and they didn't know you were getting a killing machine.
They thought I had black belts. Yeah, there was such stories about, because I was imitating Bruce Lee. If somebody fight with me, I just bluffed them. I made a side kick, hold it in front of his face, and I say, "You really want to do this, dude?" And then no. They were intimidated at the time. If you knew how to kick, that was a big deal. Okay. Yeah, that helped me bluffing.
No way. Okay, I didn't know that. Because Chris, when I was with Bas in LA, when we met at his gym, I think we were supposed to meet for like an hour or 30 minutes, and we ended up talking for 5-6 hours. I ended up staying, go eat with him, and then we went. We even teach the class together. But he told me so many cool stories, and one of my favorite one, Bas, because at Bareknuckle Uncensored now, like it's our 5th episode, and we said we talk about everything bare knuckle, Valetudo, Pancrase, MMA, Bareknuckle MMA, BKFC, Lethwei, but also street fight. So can you tell? And for people that don't know, Bas was fucking amazing stories when he was a bouncer in Netherlands. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bas. And the one that you told me when I was with you was, you gave him something in his hands. Can you tell? You know the one I'm talking about? And then, sorry, I thought somebody was talking shit, or somebody was looking for trouble, and there was something about lifting a chair maybe, and you.
So what happened was, this guy was completely nuts, and it was in my. He bit somebody's nose off. This guy, it's crazy. Actually, I have two stories from the same bar, but this guy. It was crazy to get somebody's nose off, and everybody knew he was crazy. And he said something bad about my wife at the time. And I said,
"Where are we? In Amsterdam? We're in Amsterdam right now."
No, this is in the south of Holland. It's close to the Belgian border.
Oh, Holland. Okay.
Yeah, in the Netherlands. And he's talking to these 2 girls, and I'm looking at him and say, "Dude, did you just say that you want to beat her up?" And he looks both them, and he says, "Excuse me, ladies, I have a business to take care of." And he grabs a bar stool and he puts it. Wants to hit me, but he's handing it over his head. He has no defense. So this knocked him out, of course. Bonk, grabbed his head, face. I went to that bar like 10 years or 15 years ago, and they didn't fix the bar. I broke the bar with his head, and the teeth flying out. And I remember when I came there, they said, we never fixed it because we thought it was such a cool story. Because what happened later, this was so crazy. So my wife is taking driving classes, right? And this is This was the day after I beat the crap out of this guy. It was an angry steroid guy, big giant guy, and she's waiting for a driving instructor, and he doesn't show up. And finally, he shows up, and he's sweating, and he's like, and she says, "What's going on?" He says, "Oh, my son, he's so crazy. He always gets in fights, and now we fought the wrong guy. He's in the hospital. He's got the teeth." My wife goes, "Oh shit!"
No.
So that whole story, she didn't say anything, of course. But then, like 2 years later, we have New Year's Eve. And in New Year's Eve, there's a lot of we do the fireworks, like the 4th of July. We do it New Year's Eve in Holland. It's a big thing. And a friend of mine bought a bomb, and with a wire that we had to detonate with a battery, right?
A firework, no? A bomb or a firework?
Like a real bomb. C4, whatever it was. So I said, dude, I want to do that thing. But the wire was like 3 feet, And I go, yeah, that's not going to happen. So this guy stands next to me and he's drunk. And he goes, come on, boss, go with me. I go, what? He says, I'll take care of it. And he walks over to his car. He opens the back and he starts ripping out all the speaker cables. And I go, don't do that. You're drunk right now. You're not going to like this tomorrow. He says, oh, that bomb explodes. And he just keeps ripping them out. And he looks at me and says, you don't remember me, right? I go, no, who are you? He said, yeah, you beat all my teeth out and you knocked me in this bar. I go, dude,
that's the one.
Yeah. And I said, but you were so. He said, yeah, I was roid rage at the time. I was taking way more too many steroids. He says, and actually the fight with you made me think twice and I stopped doing all that crap. So at the end, we were drinking a beer together on New Year's Eve.
No,
so,
no way.
Crazy.
Life sometimes like this. That's the guy with the chair. The guy you made friends with the guy with the chair. Wow.
Can you tell the fans how you made an impression with his face on the bar, please?
Yeah, I want to know too.
The exact technique.
Palms his face into the bar. I always like to use, whatever you can find. If I have a glass of wine, yes, I throw it. It's not going to do anything, but it's a great distraction. Just water. Look, that's your shot. You throw a chair. I did it a lot. I fought 3 guys on the street. I would throw bicycles. You have to understand, bicycle in Holland everywhere drives. Everybody drives a bike.
Yeah,
bicycles everywhere. I should literally throw bicycles at these guys. So whatever I get my hands on, I just throw. It's a great distraction, and maybe kick to the pills, and you just keep on going.
Wow.
I recently seen a TV show with you on. What's the guy's name? The funny comedian. Who's the funny comedian? Kevin. What's the name of that show, boss? The show. Wait, and you had a spin-off, right?
King of Queens, and then I did I think 22 episodes for King of Kevin Can't Wait.
It's amazing. I watched both shows with the family. The King of Queens back in the day, and then this one. I just thought about it because you were really funny in that show. You were really funny.
I appreciate it.
Now he's not anymore.
No, he's funny right now. He's the best. Hey, Robin Black is a good storyteller, but he's a fantastic storyteller.
Yeah. My favorite is there's 2 things, Bas. I have to be honest. Is the martial art coach, the martial art in the Mall Cup. Is it with Kevin? Is it? Yeah. That's fucking you're fucking the best in this. And honestly, because of the headbutts, it's the one in the bar. So
comes the boom. That was the funny one. Yeah.
Yes, it comes the boom. Exactly. Here comes the boom. Exactly. And you tell me that Kev is a great friend of yours.
Yeah. Yeah, I know him a long time. I know him he's 97 now. So still, very good. He lives at the East Coast though, at Florida.
Are you still in Cali right now?
Still in California. Yep.
Any thoughts? What's happening? You want to speak out?
Yeah, it's the taxes are so high right now. Everything is going high. I saw this video this morning from a guy in Hawaii. $5 a gallon gas now. I mean, everything. He says there's no jobs, no nothing. Everything's going down the drain. So it's a shame, man.
Yeah,
I got a couple little quick things I'll touch on. You finished your career with 22. Was it 21 wins and 1 draw in a contest? So the last 22 fights of your MMA career, you were undefeated.
Yeah.
Amazing. No one does that. You went out on top.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
I
what did you say?
To be honest, because
on top.
If I was so injured, I simply couldn't fight anymore. I would have been at Knucklehead, I would have kept on fighting. And eventually you are going to lose to the younger guys that come up because they're half your age, But fortunately, at the time, the Lord gave me some injuries, and it made me stop. But because of that, I have this great record. But by the martial arts sport with 22 fight unbeaten streaks, that's kind of cool.
It's very cool, and let me just let the fans know because some of our fans are younger. Me, I'm 47. I think the Lethwei champ here is 26 or something. Baby,
no, I'm more than 91.
He's got nothing. He's never even no scar tissue. But I want everybody to know a little bit about you. You're former UFC champion. King, tell him about who he beat to take the UFC crown.
Well, yeah, I was talking with Mark Coleman a couple days ago about because he was reminiscing Kevin Randleman, great fighter. He's not with us anymore, but Bas beat him for the UFC Heavyweight Championship. Great exploit. Yeah. So this is. I want to say, as a fighter, I'm still fighting. I want to say that I have extreme, and I told you all this Bas in person, but I highly respect this. What you did in your career is the goal for any upcoming fighter, any active fighter. The goal is I always like, you want to leave on top, you want to leave as a champion, and I want to say I'm extremely impressed for this, and your exploit you're gonna inspire a lot of people for years for forever.
You're doing the same thing, brother. You're doing the same thing. So you just keep on plugging away, and we're going to be just fine. I mean, shit, who's going to beat you? It's going to be.
I know. Who's going to beat
you? If I go to the bar with you, I hope the guy's not going to do your trick with the water and all these things. But yeah, we train hard, so I wanted to ask you, Bas, because I have a couple like fan questions, people asking questions like. If you have a couple sentences, an advice for fighters that are looking to compete in MMA, aspiring fighters, what would be your best advice?
Whatever. Okay, my thing is I have ADHD, so I have to really control my mind. And for me, that's why fighting is complete peace for me, and it's because finally I stop the thinking and I can just focus on that. So habits, you need like really good habits. That's what I say. Like for me, for instance, I still can do splits. I lay down and people, oh my God, you can do it. I do it. Shit. I do it for the last 8 years every single day. I might have missed times, but you see, once I have a habit, I will not break that habit.
Okay.
So that is the number one thing. And this is what helped me. Whatever I tell myself to do, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do. So if I say, for instance, I do 12 rounds on the back after a workout and at 10 I want to quit, I can't. I have to do 12 because I told myself 12. And if I do quit, I look myself in the mirror at night when I brush my teeth. And to me, I see failure. Do the stupid 2 more rounds. And I know I'm going to get that feeling. So I simply do the 12 rounds, whatever happens.
I like that.
Always push the limit. And then also baby steps, of course, right? I mean, you know as well as I do, you can work out 2 times a day, full power. I did that one time. I did it for months. I thought the more you train, the stronger you get. So 2 times a day, every single day. And then I burned out 4% body fat. I just passed out while I was hitting it back. And they found me when they opened the gym.
Yeah.
And it took me like 4 months to come back from that. And the doctor explained to me, he says, Bas, you're going to be so strong now. I said, what do you mean? He says, well, that's how you get strong. You need rest and you need food. Put 2 rest days in your schedule that you have now. You're going to you'll watch. And boy, he was right. I mean,
when was that, Bas? Well, what year was that? Do you remember?
That was like 92, probably about that time.
And where were you fighting at the time in 92? Do you remember?
No, I was just getting ready. I felt something was going to come because I had no clue that mixed martial arts was coming along. I just got invited one day to do a tryout in Amsterdam. They called me and my phone was broke, or my answering machine was broke, and somehow I picked up the phone, which I never do. And I picked up and he says, jump in your car right now, come to Amsterdam. There's 2 guys there, they're scouting for fighters in Japan. And that's when I got over. I got in a scuffle with one of his champions. Who tried
at the event? At the scout?
At the scout, yeah, because it was a gym.
Can you tell us how did it go? What's the scuffle?
So they were filming and they just wanted to see technique. So I told them the guy against me, he was a champion for the organization Rings, and he went really hard. So I told him to slow down, that it wasn't necessary. And I think that he thought I was afraid. So because he turned it up, I said,
is he Japanese? Is he a Japanese guy?
Dutch. So then I told him, I said, listen, I'm okay with it, but it's not going to be one-way traffic. You understand that, right? I'm going to do it. But so it's either you tone down or we're going to fight. And of course, we were going to fight now. But that was really fast. I set him up with a high immediately. Pretty much within 30 seconds, I had a full in the head. He went down, needed a whole bunch of stitches. That was it. These Dutch guys were pointing off the Japanese were pointing at me. They said, we want him. And suddenly, 3 months later, I was fighting. Man, it was the wildest thing.
Wow. So that was. Do you remember what's the first event? What was it?
It was September 1st, 1993. Understand this? Like, I've never been on a plane. like in Holland, if I go to Paris, that's a 4-hour car ride. You know, we drive. That's in Holland. We never been on a plane. 13-hour plane. I arrive in Tokyo. It's massive. Here in America, they're used to these kind of things, but in Holland, everything is tiny. Like it was crazy, and the there was no way in, which I thought it was weird the day before. But I go, you know what? These Japanese people, they're known to be honest. So, since I'm fighting a Japanese guy, we'll be okay. So I had no clue about the rules. Also, I knew there was free fighting, is what they call it. It was open hand strikes to the head, not close fist, close to the fist to the body. Everything. It was all adapted for the Japanese fighter.
Yeah.
Take away the striking skills. They put on shin guards with shoes. Hey, shoes for leg locks. Oh, forget about it. It's very
okay.
So I go to the event, and I'm at the event, and this tall guy walks over to me, and he says, "Hey, how are you?" I said, "Oh, nice meeting you." I said, "You're the promoter," and he goes, "No, I'm fighting you." I go like, "What's your weight?" And and I think it was like it was 38 pounds heavier than I was, and I go, "Is that no?" And right away, while I'm talking to him, the promoter walks up. I said, "Oh, you're the promoter, yeah." So hey, is he not too heavy? He says, "No, Mr. Rutten, we have no weight classes." I go, "Oh, great." You know, so I just bluffed, and I just started smiling, but of course I wasn't very happy. And then I said, "Oh, wait, before you leave, how many rounds are we fighting?" He goes, "1 round." I go, "Awesome. How many minutes?" 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Whoa.
Now, 30-minute fight facing a guy who's 38 pounds heavier than I am. Yeah, that was.
Wow.
But I stopped him because he was taller. So I hiked him, and I palm striked him under the face. He went down. There were 8 counts in Japan.
Okay.
And then he came back, and of course, I just hit him in the head. So I went hands down. So
Open palm?
liver kick, palm strike right through on his head. Ooh. But then it went too hard because I give him a liver kick, hands went down, I palm striked him again, and while he went down, I hit him in the face.
Oh, it's him or you. It's him or you. But
he was like coma. It was very scary.
Okay.
He was very for a while.
He was 2 days. Then everything was okay again, but it was scary 2 days for me because he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
That you know, I like to win, but I don't.
Was he taller than you?
Yeah, he was like 6'3". I'm 6 foot.
It must have been that knee on the way down, boss.
First fight, you can see it. It's fast. It's 43 seconds.
Okay.
It's a cool little.
Can you tell us, Chris? 1 second, I want to know something because I didn't ask you last time. What was the trick, for example, or what was your favorite strike for open hand? Open hand, would you like on the side or frontal?
The frontal if they're taller because it's easier, right? Because otherwise, tall. And I did that one time. You break, you see, you get the bump here. But hooks to the head, I don't understand why people are not using it now. I really get behind here.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like they drop like flies. You don't even have to hit bonk and go down. Why nobody doing it? And think about this. We all talk about distance all the time, right? So imagine this guy has his back against the fence. I give him a left hook right straight. It's a stupid combination because I'm pushing right straight. But if I give him a left hook with a palm strike, I got all the space.
Yes.
So shit, man. Palm strikes.
I love long hooks.
Strike, right? Completely legal strike. MMA at UFC, right? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I love long hooks, and actually, what you would have been utilizing since I met you was the clothesline. Fucking solid. And this is for people that didn't see it. Bas, you were on the I think MMA Science or Fighting Science, right?
Yeah.
And is it there that you explained that it was as strong as your kick?
Well, no, that was I kicked a crash test dummy. That was pretty cool, and I broke a pig spleen. And the clothesline I show on the back. Like I give a high kick on the back, and I say, look at the back, and now watch me do the clothesline, and then it's more power because you can completely put your whole body weight in that. You see the whole back fold around my arm.
Yeah,
it's a powerful punch. Plus, they can block.
Exactly.
They can do this, but it will count.
It's faster, faster and more precise.
It's it. I mean, if I would get in a street fight, that's my go-to move. I would throw a clothesline immediately because you don't get hurt. You hit with the forearm, but this part you'll try to hit it. You know, and as long as you keep your arm bent, so not when your timing is off that you hyperextend your arm. You have to watch out for that, of course.
Okay.
But 3 body shots, a big swing from up to down in the neck. That'll do the trick.
Wow. Real quick, UFC Hall of Fame. You were up to the UFC Hall of Fame 2015. UFC heavyweight champion. You were the first Dutch UFC champion in history. First Dutch UFC champion in history.
No, first European. I was the first European who won a heavyweight a title.
First European. Undefeated 2-0. Retired 33-4. I'd like to talk about your match with Frank Shamrock at some point, whenever.
Yeah.
Probably the first time you talk about this too, right?
I love it. That's the best.
This is the thing. In the beginning, we strikers, you always thought that there's this moment where I fight Frank, and he invites me to go to the ground, and I say to him, "Stand up, fight like a man." And now I regret that a lot, because now I understand the power of submissions you have. I give you an example. This is pretty cool. I was in Japan the day before the fight. I'm walking with Jon Blooming. Jon Blooming is a kickboxing guy from Holland. He passed away last year, a year and a half ago. Highest 11 dance. Next to Mazoyama is the number one guy. He's the next guy, right? He actually gave me his 5th degree after this, what just happened. I'm going to tell you now. So we're walking on the street with a bunch of fighters, and we see this giant screen, like the whole building screen. And we hear Hybrid Wrestling, Pancrase. That was our organization. And it was a preview for the fight tomorrow. And the first thing we see is me knocking out that first opponent. Boom. We go, oh, shit, this is great. So we're watching. And I see a guy sitting in half guard. And he grabs the heel. And it was an inverted heel hook, which I didn't know at the time. But he grabs it, he falls back. And I'm looking at Jon Blooming. I go, dude, I should try that move. That's a cool move. It's the only thing I said. So the next day I'm fighting in that
with
position.
the boots. With the boots, no?
With the boots, yeah. With the shoes. So you got a really good grip. So I'm in that position. And I go, heck, I'll try it. So I grab it. I fell backwards. But since I never did it before, I had no clue what the amount of pressure that I was doing. I broke his shin bone in half.
Get out.
And that's when I realized, holy crap, wait a minute. If you're a submission fighter, I can dislocate any joint and I can break pretty much any bone in your body at will. That's a freaking big power to have. So once I start knowing that, I start focusing after my last loss against Ken. I start focusing on submissions. And it's really cool because if you see the last fight from Ken, I lost by submission. My next fights, I won by submission.
Yeah.
You see, so I completely changed my. That's what I never lost again, because I learned the ground game. I said, I'm going to learn it, or I'm going to stop. What are the two?
Bas, what was the ecosystem of ground game in America at the time, or even in Europe? What was your impression of it? Inexistent almost?
No, it was very hard for me to find sparring partners. My first year and a half, I had a bag. That was it. And I was
wow.
Gaps, because I was only doing 12 rounds on the bag 2 times a day. That was my way of training. And then I found this one guy after my last loss against Ken, and I said, come on, and a very talented kid, Leon Van Dyke, very great striker, but a good athlete, super strong. And we just started rolling, and rolling. And I would watch videos. I see a submission, I would try to break it down. Then I would fight the counters for it, the submissions, the escapes for it. And, I became obsessed.
Okay.
Post-its in my entire house. I woke up my wife in the middle of the night. I would dream of submission, put her in the submission. Oh, dude, I was insane. I did it 2 times a day, but like anything else, once you start loving it, you do it a lot, you're going to get good, because you're doing it a lot. So, yeah, it changed my life around.
Wow. Okay. Look at this outfit is fucking, it's like Street Fighter shit. The boots, man, never to be seen again, I think. This is, in the past now, and what
was that a verb?
Within 3 months, they had universal rules. No machine protection. No, I go serious. I've been fighting there for 6 years, and now I'm
this. Who's jumping?
Freaking,
really? They removed it as right away. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys know the Street Fighter character in the video game Super Nintendo. It was the wrestler Van Dief or Wang Dief. You remember that? You know this one?
I heard about him. Yeah. People tell me.
Yeah, he had boots. He had boots like this. Yeah. Wow, okay. That's amazing. So I wanted to ask you something. Another question. So about
that's history, fellas. That's history.
Yeah, definitely. Bas, so what do you think about Bareknuckle MMA that's starting in Game Bread Masvidal's new league, similar to Valetudo. What do you like it? Do you think it has a chance to compete? Maybe one day, we're just talking one day with the more universal rule MMA with gloves.
Yeah, I love it. That's pure fight, you know. But they probably it's MMA, right? Just no headbutts, right? It's not like
no.
That. You see, that's. But I'm pretty sure if they bring it to the what is it the state where you fought, Wyoming.
Wyoming.
You know, you can add headbutts there. You know, the information is it's much easier than everywhere else. And you know as well as I do. I think for fighters, it's actually more safe. I'm talking about brain damage.
Talk about this because that's a misconception.
Yeah. Well, I always tell them we all know this, you know. So maybe there's some people who don't answer. They all say, "Yeah, but gloves." I said, "No, gloves are invented to protect your hand. It's not invented to protect your head." You know,
exactly.
Your hands the whole time, and they go, "Oh shit, he just won a title. Now he can't defend it. The heel first. We come up with something." So they put on a glove. Now he put on a glove. And now you let the Mike Tyson hit you. Like Mike Tyson in a street fight, he always broke his hand. Pretty much every time he broke his hand, got so much power. If that happens in a fight against a professional boxer, now sure, if he connects with it and he breaks his hand like that, he's probably out, the boxer, because he's just a freak of nature. That's how hard he is. But and I'm just saying, once you do Lethwei or bare knuckle boxing, you have to really pick your shots. You can't hit full blast. Because if you hit me, like the movies, what was it? Was it Street Fighter with Charles Bronson, the old movie? You know, when they hit him, there's this bald guy. And
yes.
Every time he catches the punches at the top of his head, the people are breaking their hands. That's what happens because of the little tiny bones. Yeah, your skull is going to win that game. Plus, what people also don't realize is that when you punch, at the end of your punch, you squeeze, right? You don't squeeze the whole time because you're going to be freaking drained. But at the end of your punch, where you start squeezing, make your fist into a ball. Now, if you bring the target suddenly forward, so there was one of
good point.
The hand is not squeezed yet. Plus, now he hits the top of the skull. You're going to break your hand. I had a really famous fighter. I don't want to mention his name. Who sparred with me my first session after me not competing for 7 years. So in 1999, I fought the title. 2006, I made a comeback.
Yeah.
3 weeks in, and he came to help me out with another guy. And he said, "You want to spar?" I said, "Nah, not yet." I said, my timing is up. And he says, "Oh, no, I'm okay with that." I said, "No, I'm not saying that for me. I'm saying that for you." They go, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, if I kick you in the head, I see I'm going to hit connect. I can redirect it normally. But now I don't have that reflex yet. So if it's on the way, it's on its way, you know?" And he says, "Don't worry about it." I said, "By the way, don't throw that crazy overhand of yours." It's the only thing I said. Immediately, first punch, missed me in the neck with the overhand. I said, "Okay, you want to play that?" I said, "I will mess your hand up the next time you do it." And we're sparring, and 2 minutes later, I go boof. And he had the overhead. And dude, he was on the ground. He goes, my head. I said, "I told you, I'm going to mess up your head." That was just leaning into the punch. You know?
With the glove? With the glove.
With the glove. So you can only without a glove. You know,
okay.
But again, you're not squeezing yet because I bring the target suddenly I abrupt you. You know, the target is here, suddenly, right? Target is here, suddenly I bring it here. You know, you're simply not ready for it, and especially that little hand is not ready for it. So that's why I love bare knuckle, because you focus more on the body, you know, and when you pick shots to the head, well, you have to need the soft targets. Really watch out for the top of the head, of course, because I break your hand.
I love when I was excuse me?
Or you have a knuckle like you have, and then you can't break your hands again.
Show that again, King. Show that hand again. Look at that. Look at that thing.
It's not, guys. It looks cool, but it's fucking painful.
That is monstrous.
I have mine are much bigger also when I'm competing. That slowly will go away.
I hope.
Once you stop competing,
It's cartilage right now, but it's it used to be bigger than that before. That's iconic.
Shout out to
That's an iconic picture right there.
Yeah, that's cool. That was nice. Get introduced to the elbows from Dave. I mean, shit, that was that's some power, dude.
What do you think of the current state of the UFC right now? What do you think one of the biggest problems they face today is?
Well, I would say the money for fighters can be more, right? Everybody's complaining about, you know. So, but hey, everybody's fighting for the UFC. They're still there. Those are the perks that they have because of fighting for the UFC. For instance, with me, but nobody knew me from Pancrase. Yeah, the hardcore fans knew me, but the only way they started to know me was because I decided to go to UFC, and that put me on the map. So I beat a bunch of UFC champions already over in Japan, and that's why they asked me to come over to America and do the same thing. Try to do the same thing, which unfortunately for me worked out. But yeah,
I see what you're saying.
A big stepping stone for me. It helped me with movies, helped me with everything. Because everybody, when you go, also you're fighting, also you do that UFC fighting or whatever they call it, also fighting. They have these crazy words that they always use. Yeah, it's a big step stone.
Okay, yeah, it's a good point because you do get approached. Some guys are, let's say, some guys are making 12 and 12 right now, or 12 even if they lose. Even if they only make 12, they're getting maybe sponsorship, they're getting opportunities, they're getting clout. So they can, if they're smart enough, they can monetize that, I think.
Yeah, the UFC will help you with that as well, with your Instagram, but whatever you post, it will give you guidelines. It's high level stuff right now. And listen, if everybody keeps on fighting, well, then what would you do if you have a business and everybody just keeps on fighting and not asking more money? Are you going to give them more money? Or are you going to say, oh, for business, it's actually pretty good what I'm doing now? They need more Conor McGregors. They need more guys like that. People really want to see whatever happens, and that's why was such a big thing. And that's why Conor actually helped a lot for bring it up.
How do you think the fight's going to go with the Dustin Poirier Conor McGregor 3? It's coming on July 10th, about 2 weeks away. How do you think that fight's going to go? You think McGregor can make the adjustments to avoid the oblique kicks? How do you think that one's going to go, sir?
Yeah, I think. Okay, so this is to put the feather up my own butt, right? 3 years ago, before that fight, I was on Joe Rogan and I said exactly the game plan how to beat McGregor. I say you have to switch his southpaw because his stance is way too long and he stands all the way wide. He cannot check his kicks. He can't also move back and forth. He cannot let you miss because his stance is too wide. It's a karate, boxing stance, a real stance. So you chop the front leg in, you stop his leg, and then you're going to win. Well, that's what Poirier did. Now, what Poirier didn't do is setting his kicks up. He did single kicks. And he almost got knocked out already by McGregor, right from the get-go. Well, McGregor didn't want to pull the trigger because he knew he had 5 rounds. So he didn't want to really go for it. But I think that in this particular game, now they know they're going to attack the legs. And if he doesn't set him up with punches, if you don't distract him, it's just a single kick. Well, any of my students, you give them a single kick. Yesterday I was teaching. I have drills for that. You kick me whatever I want. Any roundhouse kick, I'll nail you in the head. If you distract me with a combination and then you throw the kick to wrap it up, that's a different thing. You see, Poirier didn't change that. You need to watch out that he's not going to get knocked out.
You have to hide your hand. You have to hide your kicks. You have to hide your kicks with your hands first. Yeah.
So you think that it could go either way?
You set your headbutts up with shots. It's not like you throw somebody going to head.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. 1 second, I have somebody at home. What the fuck is that?
So, Bas, how do you think that one's gonna go? It just depends on what happened. Like, you have a favorite?
That's all. No, the playing favorites is always.
Wow. It's my lovely neighbor. He gave me some cookie or some cakes. It's amazing.
Pretty good.
It's 3. I saw 3 pieces, Bas. That's 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
I would give you some, guys, but nah, never mind. Talking about while I'm up, might as well. I didn't know I was gonna get up, but I wanted to say thank you. But
you're welcome, brother.
This is like right now I'm in Turkey and I'm running a lot outside and the sun and everything. But this, I don't give a fuck the look I get. I don't give a fuck what people they look at me. Who the fuck is that with this in his mouth, right? But who's getting good long training? That's me. So I love that. Yeah.
Let's tell everybody about it.
Like me now, I train with. I have this new kid. He's an actor. He's 24 years old, and he's a freak show. Like whatever I tell him, he does immediately. Very talented. So I'm training with him. He goes, how can you have stamina like this? I'll train stamina once every 3 weeks. I do a stamina workout. I'm the same as him, if not better, in stamina. And it's the breathing. I can completely control. In the early days, in a UFC fight, in a Pancrase fight, you see me breathing like this, completely wrong, and that completely gone with me. I go out of the hardest round, and it's literally like this.
Interesting.
Every single time when I come home, I tell my wife, it's unbelievable. And every fighter who does it, and they use the front core muscles, and then the other exercise attacks the back core. Dude, you just expand more.
Yeah, and now see. By the way, guys, this is not sponsored. This is genuine. This is not rehearsed. I'm not a guy of gimmicks. I fucking hate gimmicks. I used to have these masks, you know, the elevation mask, but it's like just a straw. I felt like I was just looking cool for a picture, and that's what it was. I felt like it was just there. There was no. I think this is a big tool because you're pulling it from the hole that you choose to want. But then it comes out fast, meaning that it's not the same hole back. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bas, right? It's not. There's a resistance, which is the thing that I really like.
Yeah, so you can exhale completely out, so that your entire inspiratory system goes to the muscle. What people don't know is this. You think, and this is actually really cool. I won a fight in Japan. I came up with this move. I called it the Bas Rutten neck crank. It's not a neck crank. What I'm doing is I wrap your body around my body from a scaffold.
Okay.
Look it up. Anyway, what I do, I make sure your chest can't expand anymore. If your chest can't expand, you cannot breathe. Because your lungs don't do anything. They're just two bags. There's not a muscle.
No muscle, yeah, true.
So you have about 10 or 12 pounds of breathing muscles. Your diaphragm, your intercostals, which are the muscles in between your ribcage, and those expand. And when they expand, there's a vacuum between the body and the lungs that open up the lungs for you. And for the people who go vacuum, okay, imagine your lungs are taped to the inside of your body. They're glued. And the only way to open them up is you expand your chest. So you don't expand your chest because air comes in. It's the other way around. You expand your chest and you pull the air in. So if you stop somebody from expanding his chest, well, they can't do. Now, a lot of people, since the
pressure, it's pressure, yeah.
Yeah, but since you're 6 or 7 years old, you start breathing from using your core to chest breathing. And why is that? Because Barbie and Ken dolls, that kind of stuff. And they look up to superheroes because if they breathe through the belly, they might get fat. So they start breathing, adjusting this literally. You can look this up. This is really the reason that people start breathing using 4 to 6 of these breaths is the same as one belly breath. Think about that. 4 to 6. So let's take the low number. 4 times doing this is one belly breath. So you see me in a fight like doing this, that is completely gone with me. I bet you if I do this stamina 4 days a week, I'll blow everybody out of the sky. It's so insane right now.
When did you start doing it?
Yeah, that's the thing. 2018 in May, I might have missed maybe 40. But you see, here we go again. This is over 1,000 times. And due to traveling, I might have missed a few here and there. But once I have a habit, I don't break the habit, you know?
You do it how often?
I do it every day. Every day for the last 3 years.
Okay.
I posted it on a special Facebook page, Bas Rutten's O2 Bootcamp.
Okay.
And I'm a member of it, but there's a lot of users on there, and they share their things. Asthma. If you have asthma COPD, if you buy it for that, and you show me actually doing it 30 times, which takes about 4 minutes a day, that's it, and your asthma is not 70% or more gone, I'll give you your money back. That's the guarantee I have now. That's how this thing. I have a pulmonary guy who won 6 awards for pulmonology, buying it for a COPD and an asthma patient. So, unfortunately, out right now, in about 2 weeks, we have new ones. It's been a freaking nightmare for the last year. But thankfully, I had a backup plan, and it seems that I'm going to have to use the backup plan now.
Tell us where they can buy it, Bas. Tell us where they can buy it.
It's o2trainer.com.
All right.
But like I said,
yes.
It's in Turkey right now. It's in Turkey right now. I'm telling you, I have it in Turkey, and no, honestly, I'm sold. I never used it since when I was in California. You gave it to me, and now I fucking love it. So. Yeah.
What do you think about Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship? This weekend we have a fight. I'm going to pull up the card so you can see it. I'm heading to Miami after this interview. Let's see. Here's the card. It's Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 18.
Big card. Yeah, big card.
David Feldman and his team put it on. It is going to be the champion, Joey Beltran, versus Sam Shoemaker. Hector Lombard versus Joe Diesel Riggs, Luis Palomino versus KB champ Tyler Goodjohn, and then Pitbull Alves, Thiago Alvarez versus Uli Diaz Monster. And we got a female fight, Bas, Pearl Gonzalez versus I forget the first name, but Sagala. So now we got the pretty ladies going over to Bareknuckle. We got the big names, the UFC guys going to Bareknuckle. Tell us what you think about Bareknuckle Fighting Championship, Bas Rutten.
He loves it.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. In it a little bit. I tried it, but then it went completely wrong because the whole promoter didn't have money, although he showed once, and it became a nightmare for me. It cost me freaking years of my life. I'm so sick of it. I will wake up in the morning because the fighters didn't get paid. That was my main concern. And I had all his approval funds, his bank, lawyers check everything, and then somehow something happened. It's a long freaking story, but that
long story. Yeah.
I really thought that's gonna be the next sport. It's gonna be it, and especially now when you add submissions with it, man, like Jorge Masvidal, he's the perfect guy to run a company like that. You know, I only hope for him that he's focusing on his career first, you know, and not start doing it already 50-50 because we need him as a fighter. You know, we need to make sure that he keeps fighting because I love him. He's an exciting guy to watch.
So you should. So what do you tell to fighters or like entrepreneurs on the side? Like, you think it could be a distraction, a big distraction?
It's 100%. It's a big distraction. You know, you look at all the nowadays. You know, look at the McGregor. You know, look at it. And they say, "What is it?" Well, I get this. My thought is, hey, I'd like to have a sandwich with this and this. They make it for him. Because everything has been done for me. He needs to go hardcore Rocky. He needs to go to freaking Russia in the snow, train. Like, you need to go back to your roots. Because when I came to America, I was in California, and that's the first thing I said. I'm becoming weaker. Because in Holland, it was so cold, you know, and you have to hit the bag in the beginning. It hurts your hands, you know, because everything is still frozen, you know, but it gives you that extra running through the woods, you know, in the snow, trying to miss things. It just does something to you, makes you tougher. Here it's California, the beach. I mean, it's nice and I love it, but as a fighter, I don't think it's a really good environment to be around.
That's where he's fighting. That's where he's training right now, Bas. He's training in California.
I know. You know, it's if I saw him, I saw he was posting about it. Listen,
it's a good point, though. It's a good point.
He's an incredible guy. If he really puts his mind to it, but like he needs everything, he pushed everything out. What did you say?
We lagged a little bit. Sorry. No, I said it's a good point about the. I thought it was a good point about the. And actually, I'm asking these things for myself as well because I have a lot of business ventures on the side, and I think you have a point. It could be, especially in a training camp, or you know, can take energy from your mind.
Yeah, the trainer, for instance, right? It's been we're 6 months behind. I wake up with it, I go sleep with it. Imagine I would have been still competing. That's not a good thing. It's simply not. So what you need to do, that's the only thing you need to do, Dave. You need to make sure that you have a person who can completely cover for you for like 8 weeks. And as training camp comes 8 weeks before, you say, okay, I'm cut off now, and give me only the highlights, you know, the real bad things that you need my approval for. For the rest, just let it go, man, because your career is now more important, because guess what? You lose your last 3 matches, you know exactly what people are. Because now, look at Federer a million years ago. Oh, he's a bad fighter. It could be the best guy fighter ever. Just because he lost at the end of his career. Come on, guys. But that's how it works. That's how it works for movies, future business opportunities. Nobody likes to work with a loser. Although you're not a loser because they never fought, but that's how it goes.
Right.
Crazy. This is fucking.
Where would you put Fedor? Where would you put Fedor, Bas, in your top 4 or 5? Top 1?
Yeah, at the very top. Well, at the top 10, 100% guarantee. I mean, the fights that we saw of him in Pride Fighting Championships, he's a maniac, you know, at the time. So we all get older, and then, you know, people start losing. Like I said at the beginning, I was just fortunate I got injured. But eventually, it would have happened with me as well. I'm pretty sure.
You're in a lot of people's top 10 too, Bas.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm in the top 100. I'm a very happy guy. Because
he's a very humble guy, Bas.
I'm actually a really happy guy.
Yeah.
Anything you got else, Dave?
Yeah, I want to say first of all, the last thing you said is so fucking true. And my Sifu always told me that as well. He's like, as crazy as it sounds, you can win 20 in a row, but you lose 1. People, you're only as good as your last fight, basically. And people have short memory. People are, I don't know, like I would say. I don't want to say, you know, mean, but and then that's anything. That's for singing. That's for business. And not only for fighting. Basically, you should fight. You should do things for yourself. because at the end of the fucking day, nobody cares. You know, at the end of the day, like right now, if I get sick right now, who's gonna come? You know, if you get sick right now in the hospital bed, like, let's be fucking honest, right? How many people are gonna come? Yep. You know, not my million followers. You know, that's for sure. So I think what you guys, people listening at home, people, what Bas said is fucking truth bombs. And even if you never step foot in the ring in your life, we should abide by this. Put focus. Like if you know, put focus in everything that you do 100%. Don't let distraction in, because it can go fast. I really appreciate this knowledge, Bas, and as always, you're the fucking best.
Bas, I got one thing for you. I got one more thing before we leave. Who is the best pure striker in mixed martial arts today, in your opinion?
Oh man, that's a hard question. There's so many great ones.
How about two?
Well, look what Anderson Silva did now over the weekend.
Wow.
And for what I understand, see the fight, they said it was not a split decision. He literally won that whole thing.
Yes.
See, so I think for a guy who's 46 years old, it's pretty gnarly. And then flying over me. Then Israel Adesanya, Petr Yan, I really like, because he's a little freaking. He doesn't look like it, but boy, he's so explosive. But you know, still Jose Aldo, all these, they're so. TJ, the way that he moved and flying all over the place, it is so hard to gain that down. And also Ngannou, that from the heavyweights, and they got Jon Jones, who never has a pattern, who's really freaking unbelievable when he fights. You know, you can't know what he's going to do, because it's constantly switching everything. You know, those fighters are, to me, impressive. You know, I always talk about that fight with Cormier when he knocked him out with the high kick. I believe it was in the third or the fourth round, but I bet you, they set that up for the first 2 rounds. And he was waiting for his corner to say, you know as well as I, Dave, like when you kick the body, and you do this for a round and a half, you have another voice in your head, right? There's these 2 voices. That's what I have, at least. One, wrap it up, and the other one that says, no, take it down, step back a little bit, because you're going to get caught. You know, so body. Okay, it's time to do the head. No.
Yeah. Wait.
And I bet you that he went back to but do that for 2 rounds. Not kick at while you want to do it. And then the reporter probably said, okay,
it's time.
And that was it.
He's the Kraken.
2 whole rounds, making him think, boom, suddenly bypassed it. And there's the knockout. Now, it's very hard to control for a fighter, because you know that while you doing it, you can get knocked out. I mean,
exactly.
So you never know what's going to happen. So it's a hard thing. I'm very impressed with Jones. He's so in control. You know,
no, exactly.
He's heavyweight now. He's sitting at 255. We were showing a video to. You can go on my Instagram, Bas. He's at 255. He's running. He's doing all sorts of stuff. Let me show you real quick, Bas. It's amazing. He's 255.
It's happening.
Dude, and his wrestling. I mean, with Ngannou, he's going to take him down. You know it's going to. I mean, he's got great wrestling.
Yeah. He's not the same.
But it's okay, here we see. That is crazy.
He's not fat.
No.
255, Bas.
Big athlete, man. It's, I really enjoy guys like that.
And honestly, he deserves it. They deserve it. Like they deserve the big payday, and they deserve the big fight. I'm really rooting for them.
Yeah, that me too. Especially Jake Paul and
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you about, like, because that's something that was on my mind a lot. You know, like you said earlier, the UFC can help, for marketing, all these things. That's for me, it's like it's true, but I never get that, because I chose my career in a different discipline. I don't get this big machine, this $1 billion machine behind me, basically. But it's true. My point is, I understood that it's entertainment. You can be the best fighter in the world, but if nobody knows you, nobody cares about you. Well, nobody cares about seeing your fight. Nobody cares about buying your pay-per-view. So it's entertainment. Now we're seeing more than ever that entertainment is almost, as sucky as it sounds, is almost more important. And it's a crazy shift that we're seeing. What do you think about all that?
Yeah, I think so too. Unfortunately, I didn't have that. Fortunately for me. Social media, because it's a distraction again. you know, and fighters, some fighters, I mean, I'm surprised how thin their skin is, you know. If you oh my God, they feel attacked, they go, dude, it's a freaking whatever guy. You don't even know who's answering. Why would you want to react to a person? That's the same in politics. Like these people fighting, attacking other people. Oh, who do you think you are? If I can't make a dent or freaking, and I only like every social media guy, I maybe have 1 million followers. Not like freaking Masvidal, probably 4.5 million. But you know, like these are big numbers. Well, he spoke out and said that, well, it didn't work. Why don't you just stop and focus on yourself? Maybe that's just a big thing to do, and do that. So distraction is everything, and that's why people are losing, because distraction.
Yeah.
And thankfully, I didn't have that. Thankfully, we will be in jail. We always laughing about it.
Yeah.
Like iPhone video messages, the crap we did in over there in Japan with like foreigners, where they start beating Japanese people, and they're like Don Fry and I and some other guys who would stop that. You know, we did some.
What did you do? Wait, tell me. Tell us. I want to know.
But just guys who it was all the time. It's always foreigners who come in and they start messing with the Japanese people. You know, and it's just them in Myanmar. When you go there, you're going to step. Because this is our home. We love these people. They're so respectful. It's just in place. You can literally, I can let my daughter walk topless over the street there, and nothing will happen. If something, it's a foreigner. If you leave your phone in the restaurant and you realize after 2 hours, oh shit, every fighter has that one time. And every fighter will tell you, it's right there at the same spot. Don't worry. And they go back, and there it is. I've never had that it was stolen. And if it's again, it's a foreigner. It's not. So once the people are fighting against that, well, you better believe that all the fighters step in. We're going to pick them up.
Would you?
Okay.
I'll go back. I just wanted to say that, like, it would have been nice. I would have loved to see you in those modern talk, like, how do you call it, press conference. Oh my god, it would have been. I think you would have liked that.
I play it the way around. I would do things to piss people out, like just, you know.
What would you do?
So angry. That's when you make mistakes, and you can do it by not saying anything. Every time when you look at him, you go like this. What's going on? No, nothing. You know, and then at the very end, the day before, you give him a reason. And so I will tell you that personally, because it's more fun to do it like that, because you can actually use it. You know, because once they get angry, now they're not going to punch like this anymore. Now they're going to punch. They're going to load up. You know, so that's what I always like to do. Enjoy showing up late to the fight. You know, let him wait 1.5 minutes. That's a long time to wait. If you're already in the cage or in the ring, and I'm just waiting, the Japanese people would shout to me from the TV, "You go now, you go now." I said, "No, I'm gonna wait. I'll decide when I'm gonna walk up." And that guy's just annoying. I had this long entrance that I did, you know, and I didn't move. And at the very last moment, like 1.5 minutes in, I suddenly start moving.
But that was all conscious, Bas. That was all something part of your plan.
And in the next fight, I would run everybody's head above the bat, and I start sprinting to the ring. Now they expected me to go late again, and suddenly I'm there. You know, every time I tried to do something to throw them off. During fighting, I was speaking English to my Dutch corner. Why would you think I speak English to my Dutch corner? Because I understand what I'm saying. You know, of the fight, I'm looking at my corner. I say, "Hey man, the gas panic kind of sucked last time, right? It's a bar in Tokyo." I say, "You want to go try Motown tonight?" Okay, good. 1 second, I'll do this thing. And the fighter is thinking, well, what the heck is he doing? He's talking about partying tonight. You see, the little things to throw somebody off. And it worked really well.
How the fuck did you think about that? That's consciousness and
mental warfare.
The next level. You're a different breed, Bas.
No, you know what had happened, Dave? This is so crazy. Like, I was a good striker in Holland, but I wasn't a great striker. I was the guy who didn't have it under control yet. You know as well as I do, you can be great in the gym, but if you can bring that game to a fight, that's it. I didn't have that. I was just very powerful. I just knocked everybody out. But if I would face a really good guy, that would be trouble for me, you see? But when I went to Japan, and after the first story that happened, 30-minute fight, no weight classes, I go, oh shit. What if I empty myself the first 1.5 minutes? I got 28.5 minutes to go. And dude, with the audience in Japan being completely silent, silent. I mean, the 40th row, like I'm speaking right now, you can hear everything.
You do this.
Unbelievable.
I fought there too. It's you can hear a fly.
It was, what happened to me, it was a big thing. It looks like, oh, look at this. I want to tell this story. I'm just saying this because to me it was a complete surprise what I did in my first fight. I had no clue how calm and relaxed I was. There is this moment when I drop him with the first punch and he goes down. And while he goes down, somehow I keep looking at him and I see he's looking at me. Now I know that if I run to the corner, as soon as I hit the corner, they're going to start counting 8. So the faster I'm in the corner, the less time I give him to recoup, right? But something told me to play the other way around. And I walked first 2 steps to him and I locked eyes with him. And I give him like 2 seconds and I walked because I know he was watching me, very slow to my corner. To him, that looked like, oh shit, he's not afraid at all. He's going to give me more time to recoup. I thought it had way more impact on his mind than me running to the corner and go like, stop counting, because that it looks like you're afraid.
Brilliant.
So, but I have no clue why I did that. It just happened. And then once I go back to the corner, my mind tells me, go faster. And then the other voice again goes, no, stay calm. It was complete acting. Leaning in the corner, looking at him. It was so weird, But
where does that come from, Bas? Do you know? Where does that come from?
People understand that you're actually the professional fighter, so you probably know it better than them, I think it was that. It was complete silence, and it gave me so much peace being there. It was awesome, man. I did so many fights. When I came to the UFC, I'm fighting Kosaka. I'm in the overtime. There's 1 3-minute overtime. I walked to my corner. I said, I got to figure it out. Don't worry about it. You just shout when I have 1 minute left. I'm going to knock him out. And I turn around, and there's John McCarthy. He just heard what I was saying, right? He actually put it in his book. This is so cool. And he looks at me and has a smile on his face. And he looks around and he nods his head. At the very moment, 10 seconds. And right away, I want to give him a high kick. But Maurice Smith in his corner, who's a great striker. And he sees that I'm going to give him a high kick. So he says, watch out for the high kick. So I switch it to a cross immediately. And that's when I dropped him and I won the fight. And I told Maurice, I say, it's because of you, dude. You saw my high kick coming. He goes, yeah, you're probably the only guy who listens to the other corner. I go, but that I always did. Because I was always training myself. I had a manager in my corner.
Really? You didn't have a corner man, like stuff like that?
No.
Even in UFC?
Yeah, in the UFC, well, my friends.
Okay.
So everybody, the only thing they have to say, because I used to be a hothead. Oh, you hit me, I want to hit you back. But now I have that control. But I just told them always, just to make sure, just tell them, if I get hit, tell me to be calm. Relax. That's the only thing you hear from them every time. Or shortcoming, boss, about it. But the setups, I feel, that might sound egomaniac, but I think I just see it all. I don't need instructions. And it would be great. I would listen if somebody says, hey, he's doing this the whole time. Sure, I would listen, but most of the time that doesn't come from a manager.
Yeah, exactly. And any people that you that had like not coaches maybe, but had an influence on you, even though you didn't have many. Any people that you had like any coaches that or somebody that taught you a lot? I don't know.
No, I just broke everything down. I just
wow,
make the best. That I can. And then later on, what's really cool? I read the book life story for Miyamoto Musashi, the greatest swordsman ever. And he, like I said, show up late, come early. I mean, it's in the freaking. I'm reading and I go, dude, I've been doing this. This is crazy. I was so intense that when I read that, I go, man. So I did something good, but unknowingly. Dave, it just happened. Maybe his spirit took over.
What does he say that? Why does he say that for the sword game? What is it? Why is it in the book? He says show up late.
Yeah, he would, for instance, because it does something with the equilibrium. You're messing people up. The same reason as I let I wait in the ring. He would do that also.
He says that for the duel. He talks about this for the duel of swords.
Yeah, and then he would suddenly, because then they said, oh, he's always showing up late. Then he would be on the road to meet you. He would suddenly show up like a day earlier. Right. Hey, let's do it now. Completely take him off guard.
Okay.
Kill people with a stick while they had a real sword. Not all of the fights, but they got a trick.
Okay, that's very interesting.
I got one fan question before we go. This is a fan question for you, Bas, and I know you're more of a striker, but this is kind of a grappling wrestling question. One of the fans wants to know if Khabib came back for one more fight and fought Kamaru Usman at 170, who would win that fight, sir?
Oh,
great question.
You know what? Yeah, that's you almost you can't go wrong against Khabib, right? I mean, look what he did. I mean,
Wow.
And then people say, boring. Really? He's stopping people, the best in the world. Not boring to me. So, but then again, Usman, you see him getting every time he's better. Every single time you see him. And I think it has a lot to do also with Trevor Whitman, the coach, his great striking coach. I think he's really listening to it. Wrestling is great. He might be able to stop the takedowns. Yeah, it's a hard one. His striking will be better for sure. But Khabib, you know, even hear wrestlers talking about, like Chael Sonnen said, that's the thing. I don't even know how he did. That was so crazy, you know. So it's a whole different animal, that guy. I think he did a smart thing, getting out on top. Although questions like this will make him want to come back, I think.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate you coming on the show. King, is there anything you have?
Yeah, I wanted to know what's the projects coming out. I know you're the Karate Combat, a lot of happening. Anything else? Anything you can tell us?
Yeah, so CBS Sports, July 1st is Karate Combat at 7 p.m. Pacific. So that's
right. Congratulations on that project.
Yeah, that's really nice. We got George and Pierre on board now. We got Lyoto Machida on board as well. I mean, two great karatekas, and George is also a Kyokushin guy. So that's great to have those guys. That project, then of course the O2, like I said, hopefully now within 3 weeks it's going to be ready. I put a rush on it. Like I said, I came up with a backup plan because the new model was really cool, but it's also an improvement.
By the way, I need it.
Oh no, I'm going to send you right away as soon as it's out. You got one, my friend. I'll make sure, because now the mouthpiece is better. You can swallow. It's a better. Okay. So that's where all the focus is, pretty much in the gym. You know, my gym here. I teach 2-3 days a week, which I enjoy. I actually train a guy now, a little kid, 10-year-old kid. He's from Canada. Dude, he's like over 150 IQ, and whatever I tell him, like adults, they can't like him. I go like this.
Because it's cold there. It's because it's cold out there. That's why.
Yeah. But I mean, everything, the level changes. He does it on the spot when I tell him, you know. So I really enjoy those classes because he's a kid. I talk to him like an adult now because he understands everything. 10 years. I'm going to send him over to the guys from Sean Tompkins in Canada, Ontario. He lives an hour and a half away from there.
I hope he knows that he's a lucky guy to be training along your side. So.
Yeah, he's very. So.
It was a pleasure having you on the show. UFC Hall of Famer, UFC champion, first European UFC champion, first Dutch UFC
and the best Dutch bouncer ever.
Right.
Thank you, Bas.
Hey, you're welcome, guys. Godspeed.
God bless you. Well, that was an hour and 20 minutes. It was about an hour with us. What anything?
It's a long one. Out? I think it's our longest one so far. Just flow.
I ran out of water like an hour ago. It's like,
and I'm sure we could have like talked about it so much more. Like the story, like you only tell us a couple stories.
We should get him on again. We should get him on again soon. But let's just wrap it up here. I got to head on the road to Miami. I'm heading to Bareknuckle Championship 18 in Fort Lauderdale. And I'll send some videos your way, and we'll do a little live show or something.
Yeah, let's do. I want to see what's the ambience there. I've never seen it so far. By the way, Chris, I'm thinking maybe to go for a few months in Florida. So we have to link up. I want
to. We will.
And now we won't have to worry about my time zone here in Turkey and in Florida. But yeah, we're really actively looking at what's happening in the world.
You want to move to Florida, King? Okay.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Great place for you. Here, Texas.
Yeah. Okay, I wanted to ask you, because I'm going to make a tweet about it as soon as we're done here. I want to ask you, if you had to bet, do you think that, because I know the government right now is doing great things. Even, you know what he said recently? Maybe you don't know, but he made a mandate that in schools they learn about communism. Soviet, did you know that? So the new generation is learning about like what's the traits of communism and all these things. So they're maybe going to be more equipped to see if it happens. Well, I want to know, what do you think? Do you think that it's going to remain like a freedom state?
Yes.
Or do you think that there's going to be a martial law one day and the new world order is going to come in?
I've lived here my whole life. Florida and Massachusetts. You're good. This would be my call for you. This is the second fighting capital of the United States right now. Miami, Florida area. Florida, it's a huge hub for boxing, martial arts, Lethwei. And then if we need to go to Wyoming, we'll fly out there to Texas. But I would say Florida for you. And I would happily.
I want palm trees. I want palm trees.
You're talking about coming for a quick visit for a few months and then actually making a decision. Okay.
Yeah. Because the only thing I'm afraid is vaccine passports. I'm just afraid of like having to do too much control. So, but if it's free,
you'll be fine. You'll be fine here. You'll be fine here. It's free. It's free. Do whatever. Okay. You want. We don't even wear masks anymore.
I love it. But man. Great interview. Fucking love it. Loved it with Bas. Can't wait to catch up again. So much stories with the oh my god, Japan. Like, and so let's get more people watching this right now. Let's get more questions for the next time. So if you're watching this and you had like more questions for Bas, write in the comments. We'll get it for the next time we get him. Subscribe. Follow on all the platforms. We're on Instagram. Like I said, Chris puts clips on Instagram of shorter clips, a minute clips. If you wanna subscribe on YouTube, get us to as much followers as we can, so we can get you guys even better content all the time. So we'll
be giving them better content. We'll be going live on our TV network starting next week or the week after. We'll be having people that actually help us produce this show. We'll have a better visual product. I won't have to do it all myself because right now I'm the producer, editor, everything. So
you're amazing, by the way. I love the pictures, and now exactly. I want people to know that Chris is a fucking wizard and he's the mastermind. So we need we're just the 5th show right now, so we're gonna do so much more. If you look at our friend Joe at the beginning, the setup was not that great, right? The Joe Rogan podcast was not that great. Yeah. So everything great takes time. We decided to do this because we love the sport. We love Lethwei. We love Bareknuckle fighting. So it's happening, and it's happening because of you guys. Thank you for all the support, all the comments on all the. You guys are amazing. So subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Have a good ride.
Last thing to say, I started this MMA Uncensored 7 years ago with 1 follower. I used a phone on top of a pillow. And I sat in a chair to do my first interview with Artem Lobov. So just keep on grinding out, guys. You'll get there.
By the way, now you're reaching 1 million soon. So like,
yeah, we've got almost 1 million on Instagram, and we've got almost 4.5 million on Facebook, Instagram combined in our network. So you know what, and I'm super excited. A lot of good things have happened to my family in the last few weeks. We could just do it full time now. So for Lethwei King Dave Duke, for me and MMA Uncensored, appreciate you spending the time with us. Bareknuckle Uncensored out. That was a good show.